Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
I don't even know. How many times are people going to fall in the trap? How many times fall in the trap? Here's a trap. Trap door open. Right. How many times? How many times are they going to fall in the freaking trap? He does this. He, obviously being President Trump, all the time. Every kooky, lunatic, anti-Trump, swampy, media, left-wing, progressive, AOC, Bernie Sanders type crazy person loses her. Oh my God, taking over the world. He turns around later and chalks up another W. Do you not see what's going on? Folks, if you missed it last night, you know we like bluff. Bottom line up front. Donald Trump's giving a press conference with Bibi Netanyahu, and I'm not kidding. Guys, right? The word bombshell is typically overused. Bombshell, but I don't know how else to describe what happened last night. Donald Trump says the United States is going to take over Gaza, which would, when he said it, I'm sitting up there in the chair in my office watching it, and it was one of those, the X chair things, so I almost fell off the chair. I'm like, did he just say that? It would only be the biggest public policy pronouncement about Middle East foreign policy, I don't know, since the 50s? I don't even know how to describe it. I'm going to tell you what's going on. All I'm asking everyone, I have one request, okay? Please, I'm begging you as a friend. As they used to say on the muster deck of the police academy, stand easy. Just stand easy for a minute. Nobody freak out. You get the pro-Palestinian crowd. You're talking about genocide. You've got the Zionist crowd on the other side. This is great. Everybody just chill. I'm going to dissect this for you, okay? Yeah, my word. Get some sleep. Go to shopbeam.com/Bongino. Get Beam's Dream Powder. Use code Bongino for 47% off your first order. Thank you, Beam. Today's show also brought to you by Genucel. There's only 1 week left to treat yourself or a loved one to the best skincare in the world during Genucel's Valentine's Day sale. I told you a story about my friends at Genucel. A lady named Phyllis walks into a pharmacy in Colonia, New Jersey, asks the pharmacist for an antioxidant cream for her wrinkles. Pharmacist says, I'll compound one for you. Come back tomorrow. Phyllis uses the cream for 3 days, goes to her dermatologist appointment. The doctor looks at her and says, you must have got work done. Phyllis tells everyone about this magical cream. That's how Genucel was born. Celebrating 25 years, Genucel is offering the best pricing since Phyllis walked into that pharmacy. And just in time for Valentine's Day, save over 70% off Genucel's complete skincare package, featuring the Genucel under eye bags and puffiness serum, jawline sculpting treatment, and immediate effects for results in minutes. Look 5, 10, even 15 years younger. Go to Genucel.com/Dan, Genucel.com/Dan. Every package order includes a full-size jar of their spa quality microdermabrasion treatment, absolutely free. Every order is upgraded to free priority shipping. Genucel.com/Dan, Genucel.com/Dan. All right, fellas, ring that bell. Very nice. I know, there's so many hands. Everybody's doing so many different things here. So we'll move, by the way, a new studio opening soon, which is awesome. You got to see it. It looks freaking amazing. Just putting the final finishing touches, hoping to get you guys in there. So last night, like many of you, I'm sitting at my my office. I'm watching Fox News. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, of course, is giving a press conference with Donald Trump in the White House. And Donald Trump, rather matter-of-factly, drops the biggest public policy, foreign policy announcement in modern U.S. history about Israel. He says, you know, let's listen to what he said. I mean, this happened. Play the cut if you would.
We'll take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, cue automatic media liberal progressive meltdown. People were losing their minds. Nobody knew what to do. Folks in the chat, how many of you were watching it live and responded how I did? He said that so matter-of-factly, and if you're going to make a major foreign policy announcement, typically what they do in the past is they tee it up. Tune in at 8, whatever, big announcement. Nobody said anything. This thing was delayed for, I think, an hour and 37 minutes or something like that. And now I think you know why. Here's what I think happened. He's sitting there in the Oval Office with Netanyahu. He's obviously telling Netanyahu he's going to say this. And Netanyahu's got to be looking at him like, what? You going to say that now? You're right. He's like, he probably laughed the first time. Like, no, really? Like, is this real? Cue media meltdown immediately. Everyone lost their minds. Folks, Joy Reid didn't even know what to say. They were on MSNBC like, is this real? Do we react? Are we being played? Listen to me, okay? I'm going to help everyone out here. I can't say this enough to media people who constantly misinterpret and overreact this guy. This is the largest MAGA show out there, period. We're always ahead of it. We always drop W's because we don't overreact and we know Donald Trump's debating and negotiating strategy. What is it? He does this all the time, folks. He drops a bomb maximalist position. In other words, 1 to 100, he drops 99.6. He's actually thinking 55.7, but he understands that even though he's thinking 55.7, that if he drops freaking 99.6 and he gets 75.2, he's about 20 points ahead of where he was at 55.6. About. You get it? He does this all the time. 25% tariffs on Canada. Okay, we're going to shut the fentanyl off. Okay, we'll delay them. He does it all the time. How many times are you guys going to get played? Holy shit, watching the media overreact is freaking hilarious. Every time. What do you think he's doing? You think he's going to drop the 101st Airborne into Gaza tomorrow? I'm sorry, man. It's just comical watching these people after now 4 years and 2 weeks of Trump, the 2016 term, and 2 weeks so far, that he does this over and over, and he always drops W's to Abraham Accords, and people they just keep falling for it. I'm sorry, I didn't finish my thought before. I've been so excited about today's show because I feel like if people would just watch this show, they would stop overreacting and have a better lick their finger feel for politics where the wind is blowing. My gosh. Did you guys respond like I did last night? I was telling the boys this morning when I came in. I hear this thing, and it was like he said it so matter-of-factly, I had to rewind the thing. And I'm like, did he just say what I think he said, that the U.S. is going to take over Gaza? And I think the media was so surprised. If you guys missed it, the first question wasn't even about this major foreign policy statement prescription he put out. The first question was totally unrelated. And then Kelly O'Donnell from NBC, who's no friend of ours, by the way, but I think was the first one who got it, basically grabs the mic and is like, did you say we're going to take over Gaza? Like, she was the first one, I think, who caught it. Folks, he stakes out a maximalist position. Here's what's going on in Donald Trump's head, and I want you to think about this in context of the Abraham Accords. We don't cover a ton of foreign policy on this show. This is important because it's not just about foreign policy. It's about this is going to happen for 4 years. The Trump people I know have assured me and other people that the pace of change is not slowing down. This isn't a 2-week thing. This is a 4-year thing. So you better get used to it. And if you're not watching this show and you're going to overreact to every single thing, your freaking blood pressure is going to be through the roof and your pulse rate is going to be 122 at rest. Everybody chill. Not you out there. You guys are awesome. You get it. To the crazies. I saw Jonah Goldberg on Twitter. Things are getting dumber. No, you're getting dumber because you keep getting played. Here's what's going on. Think about it in context of the Abraham Accords. You know what? Can you guys pull this? I'm sorry. I don't know. Michael, look this up. John Kerry. There's a clip of him saying that there will be no solution to the peace in the Arab world without fixing the Palestinian problem. You have to understand with the Abraham Accords, Donald Trump, who does, listen to me, everyone, clearly, everyone put the horse blinkers on right now. Donald Trump does not give a shit about how you did things in the past. Let me say that again. He doesn't give a shit. All he cares about is fixing problems. When the Abraham Accords came around, where we had the Bahrain deal and the other deals over there, you know, with the air traffic and everything, they were great deals. Everyone told him, do not bother. You will never get any kind of a peace or cooperation deal, however you want to frame it, with Middle Eastern countries until you solve the Palestinian problem. Everybody said that. If we can find the John Kerry thing, I'll play. But folks, it wasn't just Lurch, John Kerry. Everybody said that. Guy, did everybody not say that? You don't fix the Palestinian problem, don't bother. Donald Trump's like, why? I'm just going to cut a deal, and I don't buy any of that shit. And you know what? He did. And everybody thought he was crazy. Hold that thought. You can't do that. You're never going to cut a deal. Abraham Accords ain't going to happen. Fix the Palestinian problem. No, we'll fix that later. I'm doing this first. What else did they tell him? Remember when he moved the embassy to Jerusalem? What did they say? World War III. It's going to be over. The Arab world will never accept it. The whole place will get nuked. Did that happen? No. It didn't? Did it? Send me the World War III articles you have that happened in the middle. Oh, they didn't happen. It didn't happen. World War III didn't break out until Trump left office and October 7th happened when he wasn't in office. Everything these foreign policy experts, this is important, man. Listen to this, you dumbass media morons. Everything the foreign policy intelligentsia has told Donald Trump about the Middle East has turned out to be bullshit. How does this apply to yesterday? Everybody freaking out. Going to occupy the Gaza, the Middle East. Chill. Donald Trump is looking at Gaza, this little strip of land, tiny little strip of land. And Donald Trump, this waterfront, beautiful property that was, by the way, only handed over not that long ago to the Palestinians. So anyone telling you, oh my gosh, the Palestinians been there forever is full of shit. What was it, 2005 they handed it over? 2005, not 1905. So let's not pretend this is some generational thing, okay? That's just the hard facts. You don't have to believe it. I don't care. It's reality. Donald Trump's been told, hey man, the foreign policy intelligentsia said, you got to let the Palestinians and the Israelis work this thing out. Eventually they'll figure it out. And Donald Trump's like, but they haven't. The Israelis gave the land back to the Palestinians, who then used the land to bomb Israel. Whatever side you're on, you know where I stand on this. I've been very clear about my position about who the good guy and bad guy is in this fight. Wherever you stand, can we both agree that's true? Did it happen or did it not? End of story in the chat. I don't care how you feel. Just can we agree on the facts? Israel, whatever. They gave them back the land. Did it happen? Okay, yes, thank you. What happened? Attacks were then launched into Israel. Whatever position you have, that happened. Trump's like, clearly no one's fixing it. So here's what he said. He probably walked into Netanyahu, probably totally blindsided him and said, hey, I'm really, language alert, I'm sorry, but it's important here. Because this is probably the language used. So I don't mean this for effect. I can almost guarantee you he walked in there and said something to this effect and probably used the language too. He said, guys, you guys fucked this place up. I'm going to unfuck this right now. I'm coming in there with the big stick and I'm going to fix this place if I got to develop the damn thing myself if you guys don't unscrew it. I'm telling you that's what happened. You can believe it or you can laugh. I've been right about everything. You media people are always wrong. Here, you doubt me? Here's Politico playbook. I mean, these are like outright communists over at Politico this morning. They talked to some off-the-record guy. The official argued it's in the interest of other Arab powers like Saudi Arabia to find a solution to the conflict. Bongino's right again. Thank you. And that Trump throwing his ideas out there might inspire others to counter. As the source said himself, we'll see. Somebody gets it. Whoever Politico spoke to, shockingly, even a blind squirrel gets a nut, is 100% correct. He's telling the Saudis, he's telling UAE, he's telling the Kuwaitis, the Jordanians, he's telling everyone in the region, you guys have not this problem in 100 years. Fix it. Or I'm coming in there to do it. A couple other thoughts here. Trump is tired of the perma-war, okay? The permanent war status of the Middle East. Israel, Palestinians, Israel, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Israel, Syria, Israel, Lebanon, Israel, the Golan. He's tired of it. He is the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military force in the cosmos. He's tired of it. He's telling them, un-F this situation, or I'm telling you, we're going to go and take it. He doesn't want the perma-war anymore. So for those of you out there saying, and by the way, I don't blindly defend anyone, and I hope you understand that. President Trump and I have a lot of agreements on a lot of issues. That's why I support him. We don't agree on everything, but don't tell me this guy's a warmonger. He's doing the exact opposite. He's tired of this situation. Perma-war's over. He's saying, number two, fix it or I will. Third, he is trying to refocus the Hamas demon savages who just continuously go to the table and renegotiate on terror. We'll release a hostage. We change our mind. It'll be tomorrow. It'll be the next day. We're going to hold a few more. Now he's like, okay, I'll tell you what. You guys attacked on October 7th, and you thought you were going to establish like some new Hamas-level caliphate in the area, and Israel was going to be wiped out and abandoned. Trump's like, he's telling both sides, you guys better work this out because Hamas, now you will have nothing. You will have absolutely nothing. I will take everything from you. He is telling these Hamas clowns, you better get out. We gave you a shot. You effed it up. It's time to go, or you will have nothing. We will take everything from you. He is also trying to refocus the Arab world. He has repeatedly asked the Arab world, who claim to be for the Palestinians, why won't you take the Palestinians in? Remember, from, 48 to 67, who controlled the West Bank, that area, Judea and Samaria? The Jordanians. Why didn't they create a Palestinian state? Has anybody asked that question? Anyone? Jordan, no, we don't want to take in Palestinians. You're the ones advocating for it, but go take them in. Egypt's the same way. Egypt closing Philadelphia. No, don't come here. Well, you got to really take care of the Palestinians. So take them in. You got a whole shit ton of land. Oh, we don't want to. Trump says, you don't want to? I'm emptying the place out. We're going to clean it out, clean up the ordinance. We're going to get, by the way, I don't want any taxpayer dollars paying for this. This has to be a regional thing. All you people say you want to help the Palestinians, here's my opening offer. I'm clearing everybody out of there. You're all going to put in billions of dollars. You're going to rebuild the place, and then you can move the Palestinians and others back in. There you go. Here's what's your counteroffer. Do you not see what's going on? He's sick of the perma-war, man. Stop falling for every single maximalist position. By the way, I'm going to get to this in a second. Got to take a quick break. As you can tell, I came in today fired up for this show for obvious reasons. Something came out yesterday with the CIA. The Central Intelligence Agency, almost the entire workforce was offered a buyout. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not so sure these two stories are unrelated. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Really? Speculating a bit, to be fair, but we haven't been wrong about anything. Not lately. Not in a long time. Hey, is your risk high that an IRS agent is about to show up at your door over unpaid taxes or unfiled returns? Or that the IRS is about to freeze your bank accounts? Look, understanding your IRS risk level helps you decide how quickly you need to act. Take my advice and find out. Call the experts at Tax Network USA and share your situation. They'll advise if they believe your risk level is high, moderate, or low. It's a free service for my audience. It's 100% confidential. And if your risk is high and you want to resolve your IRS problems, Tax Network USA will take steps to help you do it. Nobody knows the IRS better. In fact, Tax Network USA is a preferred direct line, so they know which agents to deal with, which ones to avoid. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. So whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their genius strategies are designed to quickly settle your tax problems. Discovering your current IRS risk level is fast, free, and confidential. It's a smart first step in solving your tax problems. Call Tax Network USA at 1-800-958-1000. That's 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Dan. Thanks, Tax Network USA. We appreciate it. All right, back to the show. Man, I'm sorry. What's that? Oh, you got the John Kerry thing? Okay. I'm not sure if you're going to hear this anywhere else. You may. I'm pretty sure we're going to be first on this. But let me play, let me do this. Let me play John Kerry first. There's a story that broke yesterday about CIA officials and employees being offered buyouts, like a lot of them. And of course, the media freaked out again. What's Trump trying to do? This is crazy. Why would we be getting the CIA? Why would we be looking to get rid of some of these old school people? I mean, they've been right about everything. Winky, winky, nod, nod. I'm going to play this John Kerry clip, and I'll explain why I think these stories are related. Here is John Kerry speaking, by the way, for old school swampy Republicans too, who always said this: you will not do anything in the Middle East until you solve the Palestinian problem. Trump said, I'll try anyway. Check this out.
I can tell you that, reaffirmed even in the last week as I have talked to leaders of the Arab community. There will be no advance and separate peace with the Arab world without the Palestinian process and Palestinian peace. Everybody needs to understand that. That is a hard reality.
Where is he? He's at the Brookings Institute, where a lot of the people involved in the Russia collusion hoax worked. You starting to put two and two together, folks? I'm going to say something here that may be mildly controversial, but we don't really care, do we? Having the 2020 election stolen from us was a horrible thing, but I think Donald Trump has turned that into a huge W. How? No, I'm dead serious. I am as serious as a freaking stroke right now. 2016 was a warm-up. I think the Trump team themselves would admit to you they were blindsided by the deep state reaction. I really would. They came in, Trump's 20, he did a lot. The first term was great. The tax cuts, Supreme Court justices, the Abraham Accords. We got a ton done. Regulatory reform, no doubt. No, zero doubt about that. We got it done in spite of a massive deep state reaction. Follow me here. But it was unquestionably a warm-up. They figured out after that 4 years exactly the levers of power and how to manipulate them in the right way. And they understood where the pushback was going to come. They knew where the little holes in the chainmail were in the armor, right? 2020 stolen. They do all of this stuff that gins up public support against the Democrats, stoke inflation, an open border. What could have been an apocalyptic moment for the United States where we may not have survived. Donald Trump comes back, rescues the country in an electoral rout. Every single swing state, takes back the Senate, really this control of the Supreme Court, takes back, wins the House. Donald Trump comes in with a vengeance, with an FAFO attitude, and says, now every single hole in the armor, in the little chainmail we saw in the front, we are going to exploit now. And now he is on a warpath. How does this relate to this story? He is tired of the intelligence community lying about the collusion hoax, about the Hunter Biden laptop, about there's never going to be a solution to the Middle East, Mr. President. Just sit down and shut up like every other Republican and Democrat. So you know what he said? If you guys can't provide freaking intelligence, then get the hell out of here and I'll do it myself. You want to see what happened? Play the clip from Jesse Waters' show last night. These stories are 100% related. You guys, he's saying to a lot of these, and to not every single one of them, but to some intelligence folks out there, who go, you guys have effed this thing up. I've given you a shot. It's Trump time now. Watch this.
CIA has reportedly just offered a buyout to its entire workforce. Everyone in the agencies telling employees late today they can quit their jobs and receive about 8 months of pay and benefits. It's a part of Trump's push to downsize the federal government.
Folks, the stories are, I'm absolutely certain the stories are related. Obviously, again, we use humor a lot and sarcasm to keep the show entertaining, but this is not an entertainment show. Hopefully it's educational entertainment, okay? He's not kidding around. The FAFO presidency is 100% a real thing. He has turned the 2020 thievery into the biggest W of all time, and we're only 2 weeks in. And I have been assured by people in the know that this is not going to stop. You have 4 years. So I'm asking you this as I kind of get, because I got a ton of other stuff to get to. The USAID, what's happening at the border, the winning is just, I'm serious. The winning is so overwhelming. These guys will tell you, we're not even, you don't want to see where we are in the show? Where are we in the show, guys? Elements. We're not into the first element. This stuff was added this morning. Look, that's my actual, I don't know if you can see that. I had to add all this stuff at the top. The first line of the show we haven't even gotten to yet. I'm dead serious. They know I can't even cover all the winning. He is not kidding around. So I'm just asking you this. Do not, ow, that hurt my knee. Oh, gosh, I moved at the wrong angle. I'm just asking you this. Please don't overreact to every single thing. I know that doesn't apply to you, but to people who are new here, the political normie crowd out there who hasn't been following this like we have forever, this is how Trump negotiates. He drops a PR maximalist bomb at 100. He's expecting a 50, but he knows if he drops 100, that 50's the floor and he may get 75. He does it all the time. He's not invading Gaza tomorrow. I promise you, on my reputation, he is not dropping a Marine unit, expeditionary unit into Gaza tomorrow. He's waiting for a counteroffer. And if he doesn't, then we'll have to reset the argument. Everybody cool with my explanation? Sorry, I'm following the chat because the chat is absolutely on fire today. I knew it. I know I got to get to the spot, but I'm telling you, man, I'm watching this presser last night. I had no idea, by the way. Donald Trump doesn't call me and tell me what he's going to talk about. I had no idea. I'm telling you, I almost fell off the chair. I'm not being silly or hyperbolic about it. I almost fell off the chair. I was like, I got to catch myself. I'm like, did he just say that? All right, quick break, and the W's are coming in left and right. I haven't even gotten to my immigration story yet. This sheet is a mess. I can barely read it. Right like a doctor. I wish I thought like one. Hey, Paul and I only have Helix mattresses in our house because they're the best we've ever slept on. The only problem with the Helix mattress, you never want to sleep in a hotel because you want to desperately get back to your Helix mattress. Folks, sleep. You've got to sleep good at night. It's when your body heals. You want to sleep without interruption and comfortably. We had a guest stay over not that long ago. It was my dad. And we had him in the guest room. Absolutely loved the Helix mattress. Helix can help you if you have minor pains, if you snore, even if you sleep too hot. That's me. Visit helixsleep.com/Dan and get started. So many of my listeners have chosen Helix, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, Bongino Army. It's making a difference in their lives. Helix mattresses can help figure out which mattress will work best for you. I won't sleep on anything else. Helps me get through a hectic day. Once you get your mattress delivered, you can finally get some comforting sleep. And right now for my listeners, Helix, Helix, is offering 20% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream pillows with a mattress purchase. That's helixsleep.com/Dan for 20% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream pillows with a mattress purchase. Check them out. It's a really good mattress. helixsleep.com/Dan. They've been a longtime supporter of the show, and I want you to know we appreciate it. helixsleep.com/Dan. Our last sponsor today is, it said that 4 companies control over 80% of the U.S. meat industry. Moink. Try them. The food is delicious. They sent us a sample pack. I got to tell you, folks, I'm not really a huge fan of cooking. I like to go out and buy something. I changed my mind with the Moink sample pack. Matter of fact, Paula didn't even know. She gets the sample pack, and she's like, I'm going to cook this steak for you. She didn't tell me it was from them. It was awesome. Listen, Americans are stuck with sketchy meat. China controls the largest portion of U.S. pork. So what can we do about this? I want to tell you about Moink. Moink's meat comes from animals raised outdoors, and they deliver meat straight to your doorsteps at prices you can actually afford. It is absolutely delicious. I like mine seared a little bit, a little crust on the top. Beautiful. Born, raised, and harvested right here in the U.S. They sent me some. It was incredible. Taste the difference in quality. Check it out. Moink, Moink, Moink. It's really making a big difference in meals for my family. Everything tastes amazing. Support American family farms. Join the Moink movement today at moinkbox.com/Bongino and get free wings for life. You're not going to get a better deal. They're the best wings you'll ever taste for free. You got the big game coming up this weekend, but for a limited time. So check it out. Spelled Moink, M-O-I-N-K. Moinkbox.com/Bongino. That's moinkbox.com/Bongino. Check it out. Thanks, Moink. Okay, back to the show. So, folks, the W's are coming in left and right. The winning is so much and so voluminous that the left doesn't know how to respond. You know, self-praise stinks, but I don't really care at this point. I told you after the election in November, when we won every single swing state, that the next day that they were going to do the Rock'em Sock'em robots, okay? You got the Trump face on. It's still not broken, by the way. I told you that was going to happen. If you talk to people on the inside of the Trump orbit, they said, this is it. We learned from the first term. We are not going to stop. We are going to hit them with everything all at once, and they don't know how to respond. And that's why you see this chaos on the left, and you're seeing all these W's. Bill Malugin, Fox. Look at this tweet. This guy covers immigration really well. Again, the lowest number of recorded illegal crossings he's ever seen. Folks, it's only been 2 weeks. 446 across the southern border. 446. He notes that's unheard of. There were 11,000 plus in one day during Biden in December of 2023. Biden's final week of office, remember where they were bragging about the border because they were flying everyone in, was still 12 to 1,400 a day. Malugin notes, basically, we haven't even passed any legislation yet. This was all done by executive action that I'd like to note Joe Biden said what? He couldn't do because he's full of crap. Folks, the deportation flights have begun to Gitmo as well. You come here, you break the law, you become a hardcore criminal and are in the country illegally, you are not going to find your ass here. You're going to find your ass over in Guantanamo Bay. You don't like it? There's an easy way to not be in Guantanamo Bay. Don't enter the United States illegally. You doubt me? Here it is from the administration themselves. Check this out.
Is not messing around, and he's no longer going to allow America to be a dumping ground for illegal criminals from nations all over this world. And so El Salvador has not just agreed to the repatriation of their own citizens, but also illegal criminals from other nations who will then be sent to their prisons. Venezuela as well has agreed to repatriation flights, and Colombia also agreed to cooperate with the repatriation of illegal Colombian nationals that we have found in the interior of our country. And I can also confirm that today, the first flights from the United States to Guantanamo Bay with illegal migrants are underway.
Now, before I get to my next video here, Tom Homan, which is great. Governor Phil Murphy, liberal communist from New Jersey, thought he was going to play around. I think we're harboring it illegal. Tom Homan's like, really? We're going to come check that out. All of a sudden, Phil Murphy, governor of New Jersey, is changing his mind. Before I get to that, I want to get big picture again. Pull yourself out, bird's eye view here. Tie this back to the Trump negotiating strategy I opened up with in the beginning of the show. Trump's negotiating strategy, which has been led to a series of wins we have not seen in a 2-week period, I think ever, is based on him dropping the maximalist position from the start. You don't want to unscrew the Middle East? We're coming in. We'll fix it for you. Okay? How does that tie to this? Because the thing about Trump's debating strategy and negotiating strategy, is a maximalist position only works, follow me here, is if sometimes you mean it. Because they don't know if you're always bluffing, no one's ever going to do anything, correct? So when Trump takes a maximalist position and gets no results from, say, Democrats, sometimes you got to follow through. How does that relate to this story? When Trump originally brought up the Gitmo idea, I'm telling you, there are people on the left who are like, take him, seriously, but not literally. He's not going to actually send people to Gitmo. Oh, no, they're going. No, it's happening. Do you get what I'm saying? The reason his maximalist positions work is because the Arab world, Mexico, Canada, they're like, wait, is he really going to do that? If it's not believable, nobody would respond. So be cautious, too, about going, he's bluffing. He's not bluffing. He's taking a maximalist position that if he doesn't get results, you may see, and it'll be a different show. Here's another one. Folks, cutesy time is over. I don't know how many times I got to say this. This guy is not messing around. You are going to get your ass kicked if you are an anti-Trumper for the next 4 years, if you don't understand. He's not kidding. He is the president. You have one way to get rid of him, impeachment, and you don't have the numbers. I'll get to that story tomorrow, by the way. It's already in the works by the left. Of course, like I said. Here's Tom Homan, our border czar, who's been a gift to this country. What a patriot. Talking about the New Jersey governor saying, you know what, we're harboring an illegal or something like that. And Homan's like, really? Folks, they're not kidding. Check this out.
Let me read a headline to you. Chicago leaders encourage residents to exercise their rights in resisting Trump's deportation policies. The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, basically admitted that he knew somebody that didn't have full documentation, that he was hiding over his garage.
But there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Your comment on all of that?
I think the governor's pretty foolish saying what he said, because I got note of it. Won't let it go. We'll look into it. And if he's knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien, that's a violation of Title 8 United States Code 1324. I would seek prosecution, or the secretary would seek prosecution.
Folks, cutesy time is freaking over. He is not kidding. I don't know what the governor thinks he's doing. When you're the governor of a major state, you are not immune from federal law. The Democrats just made a huge argument about Donald Trump should be locked up for actual official acts. Governor Murphy appeared to just admit to committing a crime completely outside his job scope on a public interview. That's how stupid they are. But again, the maximalist position, because Homan and Donald Trump are obviously working. If you just admitted to a crime, they're going to investigate. If you think he's kidding, good luck. I don't know how many times you guys are going to get burned by this. Folks, there is big money for the left in illegal immigration. I've already told you how they use the demographics of illegal immigration because they talk about it all the time. Just put in a search engine, Democrats, demographic destiny. You'll see 1,000 sound bites. They use illegal immigration to keep their voting power and their populations high in blue states so they can keep their members of Congress and maintain electoral college power. But there's another reason they love illegal immigration too. And the other one is there's huge money in it for left-wing NGOs that then go out and gin up support for Democrats as they're taking money from the government for illegal immigration. Did you see this clip? These numbers are staggering. There are big, big dollars to be made if you support an open border. You want to know why people love illegal immigration? Follow the money, bro. Watch this.
Well, I'd like to ask Mr. Carroll and anybody else who would like to answer this, can you name some of these NGOs that have specifically taken these hundreds of millions of dollars and not used it to protect these children?
Catholic Charities, Lutheran Family Services, Jewish Family Services. I spoke to a gentleman that works in DHS. He actually sends the electronic fund transfers, and I asked him, sir, tell me who do you send, who are you responsible for, and how much is the largest check you cut? He said, I'm over Jewish Family Services, and I cut a check for $600 million. And I said, is that for like 3 years? And he told me, JJ, get in the game. That's 2 or 3 months, and it's renewable. That's one NGO. And I said, well, Catholic Charities is bigger than Jewish Family Services. Yes, they get the same or more.
I don't care what your religion is. If you're breaking the law, I'm a Christian. I would never support a group that said Christians for illegal immigration. Folks, there's big money in this. And to the opponents of Donald Trump, he is not kidding. There is a reason he's got Doge in there. There's a reason he's got Elon in there. Cutesy time has absolutely come to an end. Pete Hegseth, Secretary Pete Hegseth was down at the border, Secretary of Defense as well. They have now effectively moved military assets to the border because they are telling you and they're warning you the freaking border's closed, bro. You think we're kidding? You're going to find yourself in a prison or in Guantanamo Bay. Do not test us. Here was Pete Hegseth. This is quick, but the secretary was down there at the border, was talking to a bunch of our military officials here. And this is what we need. This is why the recruiting numbers just 2 weeks in have spiked to highs we haven't seen in 15 years for our military. Thank you to all the wonderful patriots who've signed up. We love you. Here's Secretary Hegseth. We are war fighters. That's what we do. It's not a freaking social justice experiment, our military. Watch this.
It's real basic. It's real straightforward. We are warfighters. We train to be lethal. We train to prepare for and fight wars if our nation requires us to do so. Full stop. End of sentence.
Folks, have you ever seen such a transformation like this between the border, between the military, between Elon and Doge, and the gutting of government agencies that have worked against our interests for years? Have you ever seen anything like this? I'm telling you, it reminds me of the movie Seven. Remember when they're trying to find a serial killer, Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, and he whispers in his ear, have you ever seen anything like this? Folks, I knew Donald Trump was coming into office to shake things up. So did many of you. You know, I knew the rock'em sock'em was coming. But I got to tell you honestly, this has far surpassed my expectations. He's not kidding around, and he's hit them with so many different fronts, they don't know what to do. Now, yesterday I said it's his most important fight yet, this fight with USAID, and I'm sticking to that. USAID, not USAID, don't fall for the scam. It is not an aid organization. It is a deep state slush fund screwing over America. The left has chosen this fight, at least for yesterday, until the Gaza thing happened last night. They have chosen this fight to melt down over because they realize if they don't have the deep state funding a censorship operation. And by the way, Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble, he tweeted out this morning. So let me get this straight. USAID, did you see the story that broke this morning? USAID was funding left-wing media outlets in the United States to the tune of millions of dollars that then went on and attacked Elon Musk and Rumble. Chris tweeted that out, and then Elon wrote, agreed, look at this. Do you understand your tax dollars are being used to censor you? That's why the left is freaking out. They have to censor you, or else leftist stupidity will be exposed as you expose it. You're the media now. So the meltdown continues. It was a deep state slush fund, USAID, and it was a jobs program. Now you're starting to realize, is this starting to make sense to you? Folks in the chat, man, pay attention. This is really important, okay? Do you understand everything I've told you is now kind of coming to fruition here? Everything the left does is fake. Their media model is fake, funded by your taxpayer dollars and BS. Their elections, fake. Their base, fake. Their media audience, fake. Their issues, fake. Everything the left stands for is fake. Trump has exposed all of it in 2 weeks. That's why you see this last night. Joy Reid, who at the end of this claimed later on that this is a coup, this battle against USAID. She, of course, is the gold medal winner in our dopey media talking head Olympics. Expect these meltdowns to continue as they realize they can't censor us, at least with our own money anymore. Watch this.
We begin tonight with a full-on crisis in our democracy, as federal workers are literally locked out of their offices while operatives working for a private citizen essentially take over our government. Their tactics include turning off our federal websites, deleting government-funded research that you, the taxpayer, paid for to impose speech codes, bullying news organizations by demanding interview transcripts, implementing an FBI purge, locking federal workers out of their computers, and even turning them away at their offices while giving themselves, without congressional or any other authorization, full access to the personal data of tens of millions of Americans.
The personal data of tens of, you mean like the OPM hack that happened under Obama, or the hack of our infrastructure system under Biden? So you've got an American citizen, by the way, subject to the same rules everyone else, are doing nothing illegal, going in and looking at payment systems that have paid off terrorists and everyone else. And Joy Reid's freaking out about it. Why? Because when the money dries up, so does the censorship. And then idiots like Joy Reid, if they can't censor you, are forced to defend their own stupidity. That's why they're freaking out. Have you ever seen anything like this? I know you haven't. Because I'm 50, so I'm going to guess 50 years old, that about half my audience is above and below my age. I have never, ever, in my 50 years on this planet, seen anything like the last 2 weeks. Ever. I don't know how I'm going to recover from this show after 4 years. I'm going to have to start taking blood pressure medication. Here's a USAID employee. This is an ABC segment, talking about how Elon and his crew of mini brainiacs came in to look at the USAID system. And all of a sudden they started putting away the pride flags, and all of a sudden it's a workplace. It's not an activist zone. You want to put all that stuff up? Fine. You have these beliefs? Fine. Put them up in your own house. It's a constitutional republic. Notice how that's the first thing they focus on in their government jobs, by the way. Check this out.
It was late last week that the Doge team showed up at USAID offices in Washington and demanded access. USAID employee Christina Dry described the scene.
Doge was in the building. We took down our pride flags. I took out any books I felt would be incriminating. No one was talking. We heard they started taking transcripts automatically of all of our Google Meets. They unplugged the news in the little kitchen galleys. It didn't feel good. And then Saturday, all of the websites went down, and then I lost complete access to my computer.
Notice the sense of entitlement with these employees, as if that this job is somehow their own personal business, not a taxpayer-funded enterprise that's been working against U.S. interests. Ladies and gentlemen, USAID is a huge deal. It is the biggest fight right now. That's why always measure the effectiveness of what you're doing by your opponent's response. They are freaking out at about a level 8.5 out of 10, because when the money train to all these left-wing organizations dries up, then they stop ginning up voter support. They stop knocking on doors for Democrats. If you're like, oh, it's only $40 billion, their budget, do you have any idea? Folks, the Donald Trump presidential campaign was about $1 billion. Can you imagine what $40 billion will do? It's a huge deal. This is a great clip. It's a little long, but I want to let it play out. It's about 1:30. It's worth your time. This is Glenn Greenwald and the great Mike Benz, who is our deep state specialist. I want you to listen to the question and then Benz's answer about USAID, how USAID, everything they do is never what they say they do. If they say it's a water project, it's really some anti-democracy project, and how they have this sense of entitlement like, hey, just give us the money and shut up. That's why they're so offended about what's going on right now. Watch this.
Whether you like it or not, Donald Trump has deputized Elon Musk to head this agency that's designed to eliminate waste, as the White House sees it. Wasteful spending, unnecessary spending. And so when the people that are part of this effort that Donald Trump has created after he won the election went to USAID, and it's happened in other agencies too, you see almost this physical resistance, like, how dare you come into our realm? You don't run us. You're just the elected part of the government. We're this agency that exists independent of you. Where does this mentality come from that they have this right to pursue their own agenda independent of any elected officials or elected parts of the government?
Well, the entire agency exists as a carefully constructed lie. And just like James Clapper and John Brennan and Leon Panetta, these are the holders of the great American, closet of skeletons of state secrets. And you don't just hand that over to a random taxi cab driver because 51% of the population elected him because he does funny TikTok dances. What I'm trying to say here is if you remember the recalcitrance around sharing intelligence with President Trump, both in his 2016 presidential run and then again in the lead up to the 2024 election, I think what's happening at USAID is essentially an echo of that, which is that USAID is supposed to be untouchable. I mean, virtually, there's no USAID project on God's green earth that is honest.
That is probably the most critical piece of information you can have. The USAID effort is not genuine. They're not out there trying to help people. They're trying to enact a bunch of anti-democratic and prop up a bunch of NGO left-wingers who are going to help Democrats stay in power. That's it. That's why you saw an insurrection yesterday up outside of USAID. You did? Yeah, did you miss this? By the Democrats' own definition of an insurrection, invading buildings, walking through open doors, this was an actual insurrection. This happened yesterday. This is why they're freaking out. Watch this. This is about 15 seconds. Check this out.
As you probably saw, Elon Musk and his crew put a gag order on AID employees. They disconnected them from email, which is putting lives at risk around the world. So we are here to enter the building and so we can hear firsthand from whoever is here at AID, or at least witness firsthand what is happening with this Elon Musk attempted takeover, which will not stand. We will prevail. Let's go.
And then they go and walk in the building. I thought walking in the building was a freaking insurrection, but like the Chewbacca guy or something. Folks, they're freaking out because the gravy train, man, is over. The Heritage Foundation put this tweet up, and they're so right, about USAID, which is the deep state piggy bank. Number one, the deep state's not a thing. Now they're like, okay, it's kind of a thing, but it's not that significant. Remember Margaret Brennan? It's only 1% of spending. Now, number three, okay, the deep state is significant, but it's a great thing. We got to defend it. Now we're at number four. If you're opposed to the deep state, then you're the problem. Citing dopey-ass Bill Kristol, the deep state is far preferable to the Trump state. That's Michael Anton. The deep state's not happening, but it's great that it is. Let's defend it. I got to show you this. I can't leave. I can't leave without showing you this. Everybody stand by. Don't even dare go anywhere. Everybody needs to see this. I'm sorry, that sounded kind of like a toolbox thing to say. Don't go anywhere. This is absolute peak Donald Trump. Did you see this yesterday? It just goes to show you how a guy who is just this high-level negotiator, probably one of the most skilled politicians of our time, based on pure results, man. Pure results. Won 3 elections in a row. Right? But he can also be funny and endearing at the same time. I know you may have seen this. This is the presser yesterday. A woman gets up to ask a question. It was about Afghan women. I had a hard time understanding too. She had a very thick accent, but Donald Trump had to let her down a little bit easy. This is fantastic. Check this out.
I have a little hard time understanding you. Where are you from? Oh. Actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying. But I just say this. Good luck. Live in peace. Go ahead, please.
Did you guys see that as it happened? This is just peak Donald Trump, man. It's just who he is. No one plays the room like a puppeteer like this guy. Nobody. He drops this major foreign policy bombshell totally out of the blue, stokes out a maximalist position. The whole world responds. And 8-10 minutes later, he's got everyone laughing. Like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't understand. It's a beautiful voice, but live in peace. That's it's just peak Donald Trump. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, folks. We had a great day at Rumble. We're doing huge things over there. Absolutely love what's going on at Rumble. I really appreciate your support. Please download the Rumble app. If you want to subscribe to Rumble Premium, we'd love to have you. You won't get those mid-roll ads. So we'd really appreciate that. Rumble.com/Bongino. We're live every day at 11 a.m. You can watch the show on Rumble anytime on demand. And if you wouldn't mind, help us out over at Spotify and Apple. We'd appreciate it. Go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Look up the Dan Bongino Show. Just give us a follow there. I'll be here on Rumble for the radio show in just a few minutes. And I will be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. live. Thank you for tuning in. Huge audience today, 165,000. See you back here tomorrow.
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show.